from San Diego, California. But Kelly Boz is sitting in New York City. And check it out. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on the Variety ShYo. And today our guest is going to be Geo Lopez. But before we get into that, a couple quick things. Hey, there's a shot at Geo. But a couple quick things. We got Jen sitting to my right. Jen Holmes with Juice Recordings and other things, helps me out with all kinds of stuff. And then, as I said, Kelly Ross, or often I call her Kelly Boz, who is recently sitting in New York. There she is. Awesomeness. So we're not 100% sure exactly what we're doing here, but we are definitely going to have some fun. And with that, episode 1, the Wes Smith Variety ShYo, and I will introduce today's special guest, which is Geo Lopez from Miami. Say what's up.
All right. Thank you for having me on the show, Wes.
So real quick for anybody.
Cheers.
So real quick, Geo, before we break into anything, for anybody tuning in or watching this later, I know Geo from the Miami Music Week shenanigans that go on each year around the Miami Music Conference time. And let's see, how did we meet? I'm going to tell how we met real quick. Basically, our distributor for my label, Juice Recordings, Jamvana is the distributor. And Robert Lee from there knew Geo and hooked me up with a gig a few years back. And Geo had no idea who I was. And I came and played, and a lot of people didn't show up. The other DJs didn't show up. There were plenty of people at the party, but the other DJs didn't show up. And it was like one DJ didn't show up, and Geo was like, "Can you keep playing?" I'm like, "No problem." And then another one didn't show up. He's like, "Can you keep playing?" I'm like, "No problem." And then he's like, "Dude, another DJ didn't show up." And he's like, "I'm like on my 4th hour." And then I think like right after that, the DJ that finally showed up next was Aston of Freestylers, and they played, and we all met and had fun. And Geo and I have done things over time since then. Had a blast. Fun guy. So that's what we're going to do some talking today and learn a bit more about him and highlight some things he's doing. And he's had a crazy year, and just hop into it. So Geo, man, like just tell us like your basic 411 and whatnot.
Basically, I was born in Cuba. Came when I was they brought me over when I was 2 years old. We came to Miami. They don't have any family out here, so they basically shipped us out to Portland, Oregon, way out there, and lived out there till I was about 4 years old. Moved back down to Miami. Grew up. I had a liking to I took a liking into like drama and entertainment, and I got into theater. Been in the theater all my life, pretty much, up until like high school. Finished high school. Started promoting music, like parties, and that led to Project Mayhem. From that,
dude, tell me like, because I know, we met. I think the first party was Project Mayhem, and then there's Give Me a Break as well. But maybe like I don't know, like break down like how long all that was going on and kind of how that all evolved. I think it's a pretty interesting
Project
story.
Mayhem started in 04. I've been promoting beforehand for a company called Database Music and Multimedia, but Project Mayhem was started on November 4th of 2014. No, I'm sorry, 2014. What was that about? 2004.
No, like 12 years back, right?
2004 is when we started Project Mayhem, November 2nd.
Yeah.
The actual date, and started throwing WMC parties. We threw, the first party was free, the second party was free, the third party was free, and then you obviously got to pay for some of the stuff you're spending money on. But they turned out to be a total success. We had artists like such as Rob Analyze has been pretty much playing with me from the beginning. Analyze from New York, Heavy Grinder, Jen Lasher. Ice showed up to the parties. Like, it pretty much took off, and from that point on, we decided to do WMC parties. So we ran it for 11 years. We're going on to our 12th year now, which is something that we're all working in together. Us included, Ryan Millar from Omega Squad, Corey and Gen Z from Zero Tribe and Jen Shui from Space Cowboys. We're all collaborating on an event, which I'm really looking forward to doing this year.
So, dude, real quick, like, what's the difference? Like for Project Mayhem, obviously ran for a very long time, and then I think I met you. Certainly, the pool party I played with you was Give Me a Break, right? So, what's kind of the difference between those two promotions, and like, what's that all about?
Project Mayhem is something that me and Malo from Gigabee started. It's always been me and him. He dropped out after a while, started his Gigabee label, and I ran those parties for a while on my own with my supporters, of course. But the Give Me a Break, I started with After Dark Mark. So we joined together, and we started doing these Give Me a Break pool parties, and they worked out pretty well. But this year he's not coming to Miami.
So the Give Me a Break one with After Dark was what, like a couple years or something? I think you did Give Me a Break 1 and 2.
Correct. That was 2 years.
Right on. Cool. Yeah. So then, like you mentioned, Gigabeat. So I know last year at your party, they must have been involved or had their own or something because there was all those pink flamingos. So like,
yeah,
what's up with the pink flamingos, man, in Gigabeat?
We passed a couple of hundred out on the pool, and like they flew. We had this huge flamingo I was dancing with and running around with, and at the end of the night, I remember Holly B. She sends me a message. She's like, "Look who we kidnapped," and like they got the flamingo in their little VW bus, and they're like calling us back home. I'm like, "You bastards! Where's my fucking Domingo the Flamingo, man? I was dancing with that motherfucker all
night." So much for our PG-13 rating.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Whatever.
That's all right, dude. No, like I said, no edits. We're all good. It was an appropriate use, man.
If people want to get to me, they might as well get me like how I am.
Right, exactly, dude. Yeah, cool. Dude, so with Gigabeat, man, like I know you have some releases on there, but I think that they go, way back, maybe before you were releasing music. So maybe you can give us like a little more like on Malo. He's obviously a good friend of yours. We've talked about that
Absolutely.
before.
Actually, there's a lot of
story, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind Gigabee, and before it was Gigabee, it was database music and multimedia, and they were responsible for doing the shenanigans parties in front of TY Park, off of Sheridan and Broward, and that was actually the parties that got me really hard into the music, like electronic music scene. Like there was these fun free Sunday parties, and it was like started off with breaks. You had different styles of breaks. You had like funky, some bass, and then towards the end of the night you started getting some drum and bass. And my partner, like the man who became my partner, Malo, he pretty much told me, "Hey, you got to come out to these parties and check it out." Came out one night, I was like, "Wow, this is awesome, dude. This music's dope." I was into the electronic music scene, but I wasn't really into the break scene. So coming out to these parties, I realized, wow, like this music is like really driving me more. I love this. So I started coming out every Sunday night, and actually DJs that I met out there that became my good friends, like such as Karma, DJ Slip 187, which is also known as Malo now when he produces on his electro name, and Supernaut was there. Artists such as who else? Catalyst, Hempy, and from that point on, I started like really taking a lot of liking to this. And
Wait, you
they asked me to basically be like the marketing director, the promoting guy. So I started promoting for them. And then from that.
What year was that, Geo? What year was like that centering around?
This was in 90, I would have to say 98, yeah.
Oh, so that's like before Project Mayhem and all that even got started.
That was
that's
way before. Yeah, that was before. I've known Malo from way before. We went to the same high school. We were skaters and rockers, and we used to go skating
awesome.
downtown Miami. Like that was our weekend. We used to go skating and like just shredding shit up and running away from security guards. Telling us we can't skate there and shit, so. You
guys breakdance together on cardboard, dude?
Yes, they did.
Can you want to do pop and lock? Can we put you on the spot for some improv pop and lock?
I used to
You know,
dance,
pass.
and Malo used to be a breaker, dude. But like that's beyond our time. We're already too old. Like we're fucking. You don't
I
want
didn't
Ah,
know. You were dancing the other night. Don't lie.
uh,
Don't lie.
dude.
Speak for yourself.
Well, dude, like, so yeah, Jen's huge dancing, man. You love to like. You're not huge when you're dancing, but I should say you love to dance. I better
Gotta
be
break it
careful.
down.
I'm liable to. She's in charge of technology. She's liable to shut this thing off. Cool, man. So like, so that put like even some new stuff for me for sure. And on the production side, then it's just been maybe a couple years, right? Like, tell me about like as a producer in the studio, like just kind of how you got into that. You know, what people and and then and of course I got some things to ask you about your releases, which were blowing up, dude.
Word. The way I started is I've always been a promoter at heart, and that's my main thing because I've always loved the entertainment industry. I just never saw myself as like as an artist, like the DJ, you know, the producer. I was so involved in the promoting, it took so much out of me. But then one day I'm like, you know what? I'm running all this sound for these parties. I might as well buy it, right? Like buy it. I don't have to rent it. And bought the gear, and I'm like, well, I have it. I might as well play with it, right?
I think that was like, dude, I mean, I'm not kidding you. I mean, I've been around this stuff for a minute, but I swear, dude, I think like from the time you maybe started taking it serious or bought the equipment or whatever to like now is pretty short, right? Like, which I think is awesome.
Short, very short. We
I've
actually
always-
talked about that the other
Like,
day.
what is it, a couple years? Is it a couple years, Gio, that you really like decided, okay, I'm gonna
2 years
try out
playing, 2 years DJing.
Yeah.
Like, let me go further behind.
Mhm.
As a promoter, like I
Please.
said before, you know, I wasn't thinking of DJing, so I've always been in studios and always been the person like up on the DJ and like looking at everything he does and like, what are you doing? You know,
Great spot.
I was like that person. I was like, what's going on here? What's that? Can I play with it? So I was always in and out, and I was always like around music. So I guess that's the reason why when I bought my CDJs and I played, one of my friends at Mill came over. He's like, holy shit, dude! Like you're using it completely. Like you're using every knob on the mixture, and you're like messing around with it. He's like, that's good. And he's like, and you got the beat matching down. He's like, you picked it up in like how long? Like a day after you bought the gear, you know? Yeah, I didn't have a monitor speaker, so my friend gave me a broken monitor, and I gave it to my friend Al, and he took it apart, fixed it, and I took it home, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna play. And I picked up on it pretty well, actually. Like beat matching is not an issue at all. Now it's just programming and like playing music that I like and trying to make it work together.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah, man.
talked about that.
Sorry, go ahead, Kelly. What's up?
We were talking about that in the parking lot. I thought that the time that it's taken him to, you know, you say it's 2 years. He's really impressive when he plays out, especially for the limited amount of time that I know that you've been a DJ. And we were in the parking lot at Expectations talking about that, you know, like 2 days ago. So I think that he's done very well for himself on that. You know, listening to something for that long and doing that for that long, I think you're paying attention, and it shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kelly, even you, like, I mean, you know, and we'll interview Kelly another time. Gio, we'll have you come back and you can sit in her seat like she is today. But
no, I would like that though.
Yeah, I think
You gotta give me a rematch, dude. You gotta give me a rematch, dude.
I think Kelly's like 5 years in or something. You're like 2 years in, and you know, I love it, man. I've always enjoyed. You know, I've been at it longer than that, but man, I love it. I love to see it. I love to see that freshness. It always brings good sounds when people are in for a year or two. You know, some people have a talent; they can learn it quicker, and others it takes longer. You know, it took me forever, man. So, and I learned on 1200s. Obviously, it took me forever, but very frustrating. But you know, came around and stuck with it. So, but I think that's cool, man. So, yeah. So, well, so speaking of that, production studio, you definitely had a couple of releases. I mean, I'll go ahead and say, you know, the one collab we did together, the G Spot collab, and I did a remix for you. I mean, I know I had fun doing that. It was awesome. But like, talk about that one, or maybe some of the other releases as well, or what do you got coming up?
Right now, well, actually, first of all, I'm very proud of the way G Spot did. I wasn't even imagining for it to get where it got to. I mean, we had it #1 as a release, It's like, wow.
Woo.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it
what's
got
coming
featured. And it got featured on the. They got featured on the Crystal Methods show too. That was awesome.
right, community service, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, the next track that we have being released is under the Pootie Club. It's called Shake 'em, and then that's between me, Neurosis, and myself. And then there's one after that one coming out like probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, called Add Love, and it's from these cats in Moscow, Russia, called Illegal Content. That's being released on Technical Records.
Nice, dude. I don't think you and I talked about it, man, but I got you know, like you and I have talked a lot about just, labels and release strategy, or just like releasing music, and, maybe it's not so much strategy, but it's just like understanding like how much different music there is around the world and different styles, and just dipping your feet in that, right?
Right.
So, the illegal content, that cat, we've got a release coming from him as well. I've been playing those the last couple parties of 2015, and really pleased. So I haven't heard your release with him, but looking forward to that, man. So,
their music is definitely awesome. I really enjoyed the track they sent us. I listened to it. I spoke to Neurosis. I was like, I can work with this. He's like, I can definitely work with this. Like, we used it. We used some of the parts he sent us. We sent it back to him, and he's like, I like what I'm hearing, and I like the fact that you certain parts that I sent you, and I mean, it's dope, dude. I mean, like, I really enjoy listening to their music. I really appreciate it, and it's completely different from the type of stuff that we play. You know what I mean?
what are you drinking, dude? I keep seeing the top. I keep seeing the top of this green bottle, bro. Like,
Toast.
what are you drinking?
Hey, stay there, hon. There you go.
Yingling, no doubt.
Yingling, baby, Yingling.
Ting, ting.
Maybe we could get him as a sponsor.
I'm not at all familiar with that.
Yeah, one day. Not at all. Well, cool, man. Speaking of illegal content, and like, who are some other artists? The Flamingo. What about some other artists, man? What about some other artists that you're into, Geo? What about some other artists?
I can go back to like the first cassette tape that I ever had was Eazy-E. I used to listen to like Eazy-E, Cypress Hill, rock, and then I got into like electronic music, and I would have to say the first artist that I started listening to would probably have to be Baby and DJ IC. I like some electro. I like electro, like Egyptian Lover, Amos Larkins, which is funny, because Amos Larkins never had played a show live, and I was the first promoter ever to book him at a live show.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with
He's
Amos.
responsible for 80% of Miami electro made out of the 80s. Every time he made a track, he would make it under a different name, but like Amos Larkins the first, Amos Larkins the second, Amos, Alonzo Lewis. Every time he made a track, he would make it under different names. So you would never know where these tracks came from. But like Bass Rock Express, he made. Connie Funky Little B, he produced the
I know that. I know that one. You heard that? Hey, Gio, you heard that edit? You heard that edit I did of Funky Little B? I played at your party last year. I did it for that party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny that I'm talking about him because I have a remix that I'm doing for Amos Larkins, and like that's big because like, he's like old school legend electro type of cat, and send me a trap song, so I'm gonna bass it out pretty much.
Yeah, nice, man, nice. Well, with all that kind of stuff, releases, this and that. I mean, the other thing like that I've noticed with you, and you and I talk a lot, text a lot, talk a lot, whatever. But like, you just came back from Virginia, so you and Kelly played a party there, like, and that's just been like, I mean, I saw a bunch of stuff on social media and whatnot with that. It was like a really good time, and what is it?
We got Fun and Bass Crew.
Yeah, Fun and Bass Crew. Right. Thanks, Kelly. And there in Virginia, D.C. And then you've done a lot of other dates too. Like in the last maybe year or 6 months. So like dig in, and like share some of those stories. Like St. Louis, I know you were there. You know that Zero Tribe Corey and Jen. By the way, anybody listening that hasn't checked them out or lives anywhere near there, it's worth the drive to St. Louis when they throw parties. Good times. But you went there, Geo. So tell me about that whole show.
Definitely. That was St. Louis was something else. It was awesome. I went out there. They took complete care of me. Like, just I felt completely taken care of, like I was at home. That's like I want to express that. I really appreciate what Jen and Corey did for me. The way they treated me. They were on point 100% of the time. So I get there.
Minus the Cuban food.
Yeah, no, but I rather have their food over there. I mean, they got some great barbecue and dry rub food. It's like baked beans. And I love American food. I get black beans, rice, and frijoles. You know, fed all day to me. I'd rather have something else.
What did you the St. Louis barbecue is insane, dude. Did they take you to what's the name of the place, man?
Sugar Fire.
Sugar Fire,
dude. Yeah, that was we have a moment of silence for Sugar Fire. That place was intense. That was awesome, man. Hey, so that was cool. And you did that gig at what's that place there? What's their monthly, right? Upstairs Loft?
Upstairs Lounge, correct.
Upstairs Lounge. Yeah, that's what that's called. Yeah, so cool, right on.
They brought me there. They took me to eat some awesome like thick crust pizza. So I got there nice and full. Got on, and they were jamming. They were real like nice about it. They introduced me to everybody, the bartender, like whatever he wants. Went up there. We threw it down. I did my set. I brought a friend of mine actually to that party. My friend Slomo. He plays drum and bass, but he prepared a break set. He threw down some breaks. We all threw down our set, and then we all jumped on and like messed around and like tag team with each other. It was a lot of fun. The crowd seemed to be digging it. Like the place got nice and thick, you know. And
nice,
I mean, these guys are just awesome. The following day, they were like, "Let's do a pool party." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I'll play it." I'm like, let's do it. He's like, "Let's load up the gear." She opens up his garage. He's got like this whole arsenal of sound. I'm like, "Dude, you're just like me. This is awesome. Like, we got gear, our own gear and shit. We can just pick days to throw parties." So I'm like, "You need fucking a hand? Like, let's load the truck up." Like, fucking loading this truck up and shit. It's like, "You want some beer?" Yeah, sure. Fucking drinking, loading the truck up in the morning. You know, after the night of partying, of course. And we go to this pool party. It's like so decked out. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I get to play twice now.
You played at a pool party too while you were in St. Louis?
Yeah, the next day.
Oh, cool, man.
So like, they're passing around this bottle.
Threw it and played at it. Nice.
So they're passing around this bottle of like whiskey. I'm like, I don't even drink whiskey. They're like, well, we got Coke too. I'm like, well, I can mix it with Coke. Because I'd mix it with Coke.
I don't drink whiskey, so let's make it whiskey and Coke.
All right, the stories of Brown.
That's great.
We have another episode coming up where we'll have a lot of stories about Brown. So.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to go too deep on that one. That'll be a fun one coming up. And then like what about, so you were just in Virginia, so I know that one certainly was all over the social media anyway.
Definitely.
And whatnot. Tell me about that one, because you and Kelly up to some shenanigans there, man.
I mean, it's not the first time we've played together, so
wait, why are we skipping the next one though? Are we in order here?
Yeah.
I don't know, do you have to go in order?
Wes is like, he's
What's
a woman said you.
It's your show.
I'm just excited to hear about Virginia, but we can go back. It's your show.
Well, the next tour was the San Diego one, and like I just got to give thanks to you, Wes, Brian Millar, for like putting that together. I really appreciate that. I had an amazing time out in San Diego at Cava Lounge, right? Cava Lounge, or is it Cava Bar?
Wiggle, wiggle.
Cava Lounge.
I know it's Wiggle, the Wiggle Party. I had a great time out there, and thank you guys for that, man. Like, I got to see Cali. I'd never been there. But,
yeah, man, absolutely. That was a fun party.
Yeah, it was fun, definitely. Sorry I sold you out on the boarding, dude. I was kind of cashed out.
You didn't go board?
So anybody so the story behind that was, I gotta tell the story behind that, but this happened. So you can't feel bad about it,
You can
Gio.
talk
Because
it. You
what
can
happens
talk
is
it. I'll give you authority to talk whatever you want. I don't care.
every time somebody comes into town, I'm always like, I hit them up and I'm like, you know, most people that know me like know that I run a lot and then I stand up paddleboard a lot. Those are kind of my two things, among other stuff, and then like exercise and whatnot. So every time someone's coming to town, I'm always like a week ahead trying to plan, okay, the gig's on Friday or it's on Saturday, we're going to paddle the next day. Are you interested? And most people haven't done it before. So I'm like, no problem, I can teach you. There's no sharks in the water, all that stuff. And then with you, a perfect example, and Rob analyzed it, the same exact thing, dude. What happens is we're all set to go do it, and then the party happens, and then I don't hear from y'all for 48 hours until you're back home.
You guys got to do the day before the party. Right?
I went.
And I'm just gonna like I won't say anything else other than it's Brian Millar's fault. And I know he's not here to defend himself, but that's how it rolls, and it is what it is, man. But so far we threw 7 parties in 2015, dude, and I didn't get to take one person paddleboarding. I ended up taking my dog.
I did it, but I
taking
didn't
my
go
dog,
to a
man.
party, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we went to Burning Man. We'll save that for the Kelly show.
That's another time.
All right, Gio, what else you got? You got Wiggle in San Diego. Then what happened after that?
Then
What was the next one?
I went to Tampa. I played a show out in Tampa with actually you.
Oh, that show was dope. Is that one?
Oh, dude, we were there together at D5.
I still remember that show.
That's how you met
the Revolution Party.
Right, the Revolution Party.
You
You were
met Jordan.
playing it. So was Austin from the Freestylers. So was a couple of other cats out there.
Kimball Collins was like one of the highlights on that. Yeah.
That was
really
a dope lineup. I wish I would have been able to go to that. That was one of those lineups where I was like,
Robbie was playing.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried to go too. I was like, don't you need like a camera person / assistant /
Yeah, dude, it was like
I wanted to go.
It was like Robbie, Martin Flex, you know, me, you. It was like crazy. Kimball, Freestylers, Huda Hoodia. It was like a whole old school, new school kind of deal going on. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then that's where I actually met the promoter for Jordan. That's where I met Jordan, One Shot Carl from Virginia. He came up to me. He's like, "Oh, so it's dope, this and that." We started talking. We traded numbers. We stayed in touch, and he hooked it up with a booking. I was like, "That's awesome. You know what, man? Like, for booking me out here, I'm gonna take care of you in the WMC. I'm gonna make it worth your while." So.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta look out for the people who look out for you, man. Like, this is like, we're an underground scene, and like, this is the only way to make it. Like, you know, it's like everybody working together. You know, as long as you work proper, you're not a douchebag. I'll work with you. I'll push you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the honest truth. Like,
you're not a douchebag.
If you're not a douchebag, you're trying to like screw me over. Like, I'll break my back for you. That's who I am.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
sure. Hey, do you know? On a side note, do you know how I know Jordan? One Shot.
From Tampa. Oh, from DC.
No, I know that cat from New York. So like Geo, this is just like next time you see him, it was the craziest thing, dude. So like I don't know, back when I lived in New York City and was DJing, throwing parties, he and whoever he was dating at the time, or maybe married, I don't know. But anyway, they would come out and definitely support all the parties. And I think they lived in D.C., Virginia area at the time. But in any case, they were coming up to New York, you know, like to come to our parties, and that was super cool. That's where I met him. Nice. And then like out of nowhere, he shows up at the Tampa party, and I'm just like, dang, dude. And he still looked like the same. He still looked the same, but it might have been 10 years, man. I don't know. It was a while. So.
Awesome.
But anyway, that's how I know him. So I think I know him well enough. I know him well enough where you can kick him in the shins next time you see him.
Awesome. Actually, I know him. I know him well enough where I can do that and I feel comfortable about it too.
So cool, that was a cool party, and I want to say thanks for that too. Just having Geo out to my farewell party, you know, and it was Jordan's birthday also. Having Geo out, that was quite excellent to have a friend of mine, you know, to come up from Miami and do that. We've all become family over, you
know, I love you, dude, and I miss you to death. Like I wish you would have stayed an extra day, whatever. I know you have going on. I know you have everything going on.
We took Geo around and we gave him a tour of DC, which was kind of bittersweet for me too, because you go to a city that is very touristy, and everybody wants you to take you on a tour, take them on a tour, and I just hate doing the DC tour. It's like going to the monuments. But since it was like the day before I was leaving to New York, I got to take Geo, and he was like a kid in a candy store. We have pictures like to document the whole entire day. He had a great time. It was a perfect ending to that chapter. Thank you.
What was your favorite thing in DC, Geo? Like non-music, like what was your favorite thing in DC? What would you tell people to go see if it's their first time going there?
The people, the way they treat you.
Oh, just nice.
Yeah.
People are really extremely nice out there, and I I love that shit. That's the way I am, and I'm a nice guy, dude. Just don't like piss me off or like screw me.
So now when you go visit Kelly in New York, I'm gonna ask you the same question a year from now. You're gonna be like, "Damn, stole my wallet."
No. Wait, I've been to New York City, and I walked up and down Times Square, and I didn't get my wallet stolen. So
No.
my experience trying to New York has been so far good. Like.
Yeah, I lived there a long time. New York's a wonderful place to live, man. Like, that's a total joke and a misconception, really. Like, I'm sure there were some pretty dangerous days in the past in New York, as with any, any city that's gone through transitions. But the whole time I was there, it was a great place to be. Definitely.
Nice.
What years did you live here?
Huh?
Let's see. I don't remember. But well, when did you visit? I don't know if you asked when he visited or when I lived there.
When you lived there. When you lived here.
Yeah, I lived there like 2005 to 10, I guess, about 5 years.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then I came out to California. Then I came out to sunny San Diego, California, like 2010, 11-ish, I guess, something like that. And I was a vagabond for a while, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
You ever done any road trips, man? Like just straight up road trips? Like what's the longest road trip for you? Get in a car with the homies and go.
No, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The longest road trip I took was to Jacksonville.
That's like nothing. That's like 5
That's
hours.
not a road trip.
That's just
It's long to get out of, dude. Like it's like at least 8 hours to get to Florida. We drove.
I say
The longest I've driven anywhere in a car has been Jacksonville.
Dude, let's get a camper and do worldwide.
But you got to remember. But you
I
have
would
to
rather
remember
buy.
that most other states.
Yeah, Florida's freaking long.
Florida's long, dude. That might be like going from San Diego to driving San Diego to San Francisco, like 470 miles or something.
That's the only issue, man, with like throwing Florida parties is like when you throw a party, you know that you're only gonna get people in Florida. It's not like you got any connecting neighboring states really close to you. They gotta drive 8 hours just to get to Miami. It's like you throw parties in these other states and you see people coming from other connecting states down. That's what I enjoy about these other parties that I've been playing at. It's like you get people from all over,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's fun, isn't it? Man. Yeah. Well, hey, I know you wanted to. I know while we're talking about like some of these relationships that you've made inside, outside of Florida, I know you wanted to maybe give props to a few people or something. So before I go somewhere else with our chat, like what anybody else that is like these relationships from meeting people in Miami and then playing other places and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'd like to give respect and props to, first of all, you, Wes. You're awesome, bro. Like that's brother, that's.
There you go.
Boom, 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 boom.
Done.
We're gonna walk out of here with black eyes tomorrow. Especially Malo. Malo's been with me through thick and thin. From Gigabeat, my fam obviously, and Corey, Gen Z Zabal, from the Zero Tribe, massive respect to them. Omega Squad, Scandar, Brian Millar, my baby right there looking down, still looking at the camera, Mrs. Kelly Ross.
Boss.
He's like, hey, things you don't do. You don't look down.
I think
Your phone.
Hey, Gio, do you know how Kelly got the last name Balls, B-A-W-Z? That's not even a real last name, but do you know where that came from?
BAWZ?
Yep, bows.
Yeah, like balls.
Like a bows.
How?
You know, I think it was on her Facebook one day. I'm pretty sure. Like, didn't you used to be like clandestine on Facebook with that or
Yeah,
something?
I was trying to be like my MySpace name was Kelly Nunya. I didn't want anybody to know who I was, believe it or not. So I was trying to be clandestine on Facebook. So it was Kelly Balls instead of Kelly Rose.
Word.
That's like back from the days of like MySpace and
I was like, MySpace.
Friendster when everybody was like out of panic. They didn't want
Oh
to know
no,
who
my
they were.
privacy might be. But Wes looks down at his phone one day and he looks at it and he points to it. He's like, for the longest time I didn't even know that your last name wasn't Ross. So from now on, doesn't matter. Last name Boss.
I still think I still think I have it listed that way, dude.
Yeah, I think you do.
Do that.
I'm not allowed to say what yours says on air.
No, but the funny thing was, so Gio, we were at Burning Man this last year, and Kelly went and came in with
Oh,
Camp.
wait, hold on. You
Charles.
said we're on air? I thought this was like a practice run.
Yeah,
You were on air, bro.
Yeah, dude.
But hey, so like we were at Burning Man, and like Kelly was like there staying in a tent, and then I had my trailer, and we were all in with Camp Charlie. It was the big pink unicorn, and we were there 3 days early helping set up, so like early access, and so I kept yelling like I'd get up in the morning and like my trailer and be like maybe 50 feet away from her, and then she's over in a pot of tents, which is all people that are in early helping build, and I'd be like, I would just hear it be like Wes, and I'd be like Boss. So nobody else had ever met her, so they all just thought her name was Boz. But anyway.
That's what everyone called me.
Good times.
They're like, are you Boss?
Side note, dude. Side note. All right, man. So Gio, dude, who's the I already asked about favorite talent and DJs. Who's your favorite female DJ out there?
Tacos. Can we talk about those?
Oh God. Perfect.
Oh man. All right, dudes. It's like I don't even know the background on all that, but I had to ask it because I see it on.
Now, what is the deal with taco? What is the deal with that? I see this online.
I don't think we can get into what all that is on here, but I just see it. I saw it for a while.
Are we talking about tacos or pink tacos?
Guacamole.
No,
I don't like guac. I don't like
food. We're talking about food.
Big sour cream, baby.
Because I just kept seeing that stuff posted on Facebook, and there was obviously some inside jokes, but and it was all related to the question I asked. But anyway, we can talk about real tacos, like the food ones that you eat. Do you have some with you? I thought you said you're gonna bring some to the show.
Today I brought.
What'd you bring, dude?
Oh God.
I expect to see some creativity here, man. What you got? He rolls up into the variety show with, what do you got? Rice and beans?
You can't just eat it. You got it. What? You can talk.
These are called tamales, man. This is from Cuba.
So tamales is a Cuban. Yeah, we can see it, dude. Check that out. Don't spill it on your computer. It looks like a piece of sausage in the plate, man. Nice.
No, they come with pork. They're fucking so good. God damn it.
Oh no! Smile down.
Fork down.
It's steak class.
Since we have a segue, it looks like for a minute. I got a question for you, dude. Off the chart. What kind of socks are you wearing, brother? I got the jellyfish. What do you got, dude? Show them.
Reebok, is it Reebok?
The Reebok, man.
Reeboks, baby.
Dude, I could guarantee you probably every guest from now on is gonna come with some kind of socks.
They're like, you gotta show your socks, bitch.
Dude, that's like when you're at the airport. If you're at the airport and like you forget that you're gonna have to take your shoes off, and then you take your shoes off, and either you don't have any socks on, or you got like a dirty sock or something with a hole in it.
I mean, how come you get to wear shoes in here?
That's kind of funny. Hey,
dirty
these are my
sock.
indoor Uggs.
Like a dirty foot.
Wait a minute.
Just
Wait a
because
minute. Just to clarify my fashion while we're doing this show, it's like this is I wear Uggs. Yep, it's cold here in San Diego.
So just to give you a little background, I don't get to wear shoes in here because there's no shoes at the door here of the studio. I'm like, wait a second, how come you get to wear shoes?
That's true.
Apparently they're indoor shoes.
But this is my indoor pair. I have two. I do have two pair. I have two pair of Uggs. And one is indoor, one's outdoor.
You shouldn't wear your shoes in the house anyway. It's all good.
So I'm barefoot right now. I'm completely barefoot right now.
So I did
Oh,
not ask Jen to show her feet. Yeah.
In the airport, the kids must love your socks, Wes. Like the kids like, ooh, look, it's unicorns.
Did Cliff give you socks for Christmas?
He's got all the cool colored socks and stuff. It's like, kids got their.
Hey, ma'am. Well, along the lines of food, so Miami's coming up. Obviously, you know, we've got a couple things. You know, play your shows and stuff, and then no specifics yet, but. We'll talk about those in coming up once those things are confirmed. But Miami's coming up, so like for people that check this out, where would you tell them, Geo, to go for like food? Like let's talk a little bit of because you're as local as it gets, man, and been there a while. So like where would people go for good Cuban food in Miami during the conference?
If you're gonna be in Miami Beach, I would consider going to Puerto Sagua, which a lot of people probably ate there. I'm pretty sure you probably ate out there, Wes.
Yeah, we did.
That's like
me there.
that's as authentic as you can get to Cuban food in South Beach. But if you want authentic Cuban food, like you can come into Hialeah. It's like the town I live in. It's like mainly Cubans out here, dude. Like you're not gonna pay like 3 or 4 times the amount. You're just gonna have to drive 20, 25 minutes inland away from South Beach. La Carreta is another good place to eat
I
at.
love La Carreta. I love La Carreta.
There you go. If you really want to go to like, huh?
I love La Carreta. Their chicken soup is the bomb.
All right.
And
And then there's another place in Southwest Miami called Versailles.
Okay.
There's Darth Vader.
Oh, did Kelly mask it up? What are you doing over there? Put it on real quick.
Put it back on.
So everybody else can see what your tomfoolery over there.
Hey, I don't know if this is going to cut us off in a couple minutes because I put it till 6:30. I don't know if it'll
I think you could go for 8 hours.
I think it'll keep going.
I don't know if it cuts us off, then we apologize to anybody watching if you want to keep watching the shenanigans.
It says we're on air.
Yeah, it's at 6:30. It might chop us off. We're gonna see if there's one way to find out.
Yeah, we're that's like a warning in case it happens.
Yeah. Morning.
There'll be a part 2. Nice, Vader. So cool, man. That's some good restaurant suggestions, Geo. And then I also wanted to one of the other things you and I have in common, which I think is cool, is you know I worked a number of years in like construction trades and practice, so like totally unrelated to music. You and I were talking earlier just about you know that whole industry and kind of how real everybody is in that business, you know, the construction business. And I know you're in commercial construction and the tell us a little bit about that, whatever you want to share, man, because I think what people do, you know, all the things they do are like pretty interesting, you know, how they get where they are.
Right. I started in this company pretty much. I was bartending at a club in Fort Lauderdale, one night a week, and then I had my regular job. I was a manager for a pool service company. I pretty much got offered this job, making less money, way back in the days, like 8 and I left this pool company. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was working 72 hours a week. I wanted a regular job, working 40 hours, and then, you know, have my chance of working an extra 8 hours overtime. I went in this company. I started like pretty much busting my ass. Worked hard, showed up to work every day. I worked overtime all the time, and moved my way up to the point where I'm like now I'm the one with the blueprints, drawing out the plumbing on the deck, and drawing it by hand sometimes. If I don't have a drawing, I gotta just pretty much make it up. Or if I'm dealing with a remodelation, like a remod building, something that's already standing, they just gut the building out, then I gotta draw the blueprints all by hand, by scale, you know, 1/4 inch equals a foot or whatever the scale is. And
Yeah.
pretty much I work really hard, and it's crazy because I go into work. I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I go in there. I love my job. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like to go in there, and my position I really appreciate. And I enjoy doing it. You know, it's all math. And pretty much orientating where you're around in the building, where you're located, whether you're behind this beam or this column, because like it can get pretty confusing if you're not orientated of where you're located, where you're standing, looking at a blueprint. And it's just work. I get out of work, I go home, I take a shower, get dressed, run to the studio, work on music. If I'm in the studio, I'm at home DJing, like programming new music, searching, shopping for music. You know, it's all pretty much the same thing. I wake up 5:30 in the morning, go to work, bust my ass for like about 8 hours, come home, take a shower, get dressed, do music, and
Rinse and repeat.
The daily,
and
am I
repeat,
allowed to, am I
and
allowed,
repeat, and
am I
repeat.
allowed to say eat, rave, repeat? Wait. Dude, my joke around here is eat, sleep, warp, repeat. Because
That's
of
what it is.
able to
When you're on the
warp it,
grind,
man.
you have to. When you're on the
That's cool, man. Like, I mean, you've been doing that construction side thing though now for like 6, 7 years, right?
8 years.
8.
I'm one of the foremen.
Yeah.
I'm the layout foreman. I'm the one in charge of that. You know, the drawing part
Yeah.
and reading the math and shit and like figuring it out. I'll build it too. I mean, I love building it. I love working with my hands. I'm an
Well,
I can't be in an office all day. I'll go crazy. I gotta get out and do stuff.
yeah, I mean, one of the reasons might help to like why we actually stumbled upon this topic, because when Geo and I started working together, like on some music and some other stuff, and I just we just were talking about random things like this, and I realized that he had some of that background because of a few things he said. But I will tell you, like, one of the things, and Geo and I have talked about project management and these kinds of things, and we talk about this stuff around the label all the time, and how we do things and manage things, and in working with you, as you know, it's always you've heard me say time after time that I can recognize those not just the hands-on skills and the trade skills from your construction experience, but like the project management skills and working on teams that do things that way and build projects and whatnot, and just how for me because I had some of that background as well, as you know, right? Like we talked about, I worked in the construction industry for a while, and so some of that was field-oriented stuff, some of that was project management-oriented stuff, but those skills it's really an amazing place to learn them, and I can totally see how you apply those skills to really everything that I've seen you do, like, no business-wise, and even talking about it, even if it's not business with me.
With party planning.
Yeah, and if anything, I would, like event planning, whatever, and if anything, I would tell, like anyone listening and watching this later or now is, I think it's an invaluable skill, man. Like the way that construction industry professionals do project management is applicable to like anything. And then even if you don't do that, I just think, because I get, like, Geo, you and I have had talks about, how do you run this piece of the business or the label or this or that, or maybe contracts and agreements and this kind of stuff, and those are all like parts of project management, right? And so I think that it definitely wouldn't hurt anybody to explore those skills if they don't have them, if they're watching this and they're looking for, maybe answers sometimes, or just, how do people manage stuff, how do they kind of logically think through things, then those fundamental project management skills are really key. So I'll probably say that every time we have a variety show. And I know Jen and Kelly are like, I'm not going to say anything because he says it every time we meet. So, but anyway, I do think it's really valuable. So.
Yeah, it is. Actually, you can apply it to pretty much everyday life, in the sense where you think something out, you draw it out, you build the foundation, and you grow, and you try to grow on that and build it. It doesn't always turn out to be exactly what you draw, what you picture, but it's more or less around those lines. Another thing is in life, like, at least I try to live like, try to make everybody happy. It's not gonna happen. It's always somebody gonna be upset. just like in construction, like, somebody's always like, oh, this ain't right. Like, what are you doing? It's like, this is the way you drew it, but it's not working. On paper, it's all nice and pretty, but like when it comes to real life, it's not gonna work out the way you drew it. You know what I mean? Like you need a revision, so you get tons of revisions before you actually get to the final revision of what you're building here. You know what you're trying to establish, but that's pretty much the way life.
It sounds like working on music. Do you like along those lines? Do you think you apply any of that kind of going from one thing to the other, building on top of things?
Absolutely, I've sat there and I like and done something and like put shit together and I'm like, and the next day you're like, I'm not feeling it anymore. So like we don't trash it, or I won't trash it. It's like we'll put it away and we like maybe get to it sometime later, and like it's like you think of something and then maybe halfway or a quarter way through you're like, this is not the avenue I'm trying to go towards.
Like
getting a revision from the architect is like, I need a revision because this isn't working, and like you got to submit it and then wait for their approval before you can continue to change what you were doing. But the only difference, I have no architects to deal with. We are the ones that were like, we want to do it. Like I'm not feeling it anymore. All right, put it to the side, start something else. But yeah, it's like that, you know.
I guess the difference with all our electronic music in a building is you can't exactly just throw the building out. But
I mean, a building costs billions of dollars. Like we're making music, it's just
what's the you don't have to name the project, but what's like the largest building project you worked on? I think a lot of people when we say, I know when I talk about construction, quite often people think maybe like a stick built or like a house or something. But what's like the maybe the number of floors or something in a building, like, or just total dollar amount, if you know?
I hate to say this because I don't agree with the man's name that's imprinted on the front of this fucking
You don't have to say whose building it is or any of that.
But yeah, I worked at the Trump Towers, and I do not agree with that. I'm sorry for my words, but I am.
You do? Yeah, we don't have a politics section on the show, but that's cool, man. Whatever. There's gold on things.
Yeah, Trump Towers. I did the plumbing on the Clevelander, actually, in South Beach.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I was talking about buildings you've worked on. What would be like the biggest that you can think of you worked on?
Right now, I'm working on a 60-story high-rise in Sunny Isles Beach. It's called Jade's Signature.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So like, I can almost guarantee.
High-rise, the condos they're starting off at $4.3 million a unit.
That's it.
That's
it. Well, if we win the lottery tonight, what time is it? Yeah, it's almost time. Get there.
I've got one ticket.
I know, like.
That's all you need is one ticket. When it's coming for you, that's all you need. One ticket. I believe in that.
We were on a call. Geo, you and I were on a call a little bit earlier today, and dude, what did that guy have? 200 tickets?
250.
They held up a sheet of like 250.
Okay, so like, the chances of winning the Powerball are only 200 million. That's what they are, like, pretty much. If I'm not mistaken, 200 million chances of winning it. Okay, so you just reduced it by 250. So okay, you still got better luck at getting struck by lightning. You know what I mean?
It's still crazy, dude. So hey, man, I know one thing. Another thing I wanted to ask you. I know you and it's regarding like things coming up, like that you're working on and want to do, musically or otherwise, is cool. Is like Burning Man. So we've talked about a little. I know you talked about a lot with Kelly. Is that something you want to try to do in the future, or like, and why would you want to try to do it? I guess if you have any thoughts.
Because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I've never really experienced it. And I'm a curious person. I like to experience things like that. Like, if you tell me like it's a lot of fun, man, I've never done it, I'm like, I want to go.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I told Kelly, I was like, Kelly, if I go, dude, I'm gonna be scared. I need to tag along with you or Wes or somebody. You just can't send me out into the desert alone, dude.
He's already stated that he will be like stuck to me the entire time. So I will be his Burning Man host if that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, man. Like a lot of people, I think a lot of people maybe want to go to it, and some maybe just don't know how to do it, and then maybe there's people, because now that they're like, like live casting some of the music and other things, during the week when it actually happens, I think a lot of people around the world get, maybe see it and might, so it's kind of privileged to be able to get to go there for sure. And that'd be cool, man. That'd be cool if you could get there and.
I haven't been yet either. So.
We've been. Jen hasn't been, but there's a lot of us in the crew that have. And
be prepared. You go 1 year. You're committed to how many? 20 years.
The guy, yeah, we met some guy. He said, "You go what?
Damn, 20 years in the desert."
I mean, I'm just saying. You go one time. You think it's one time. You're committed to 20 times.
All right, whatever. That's cool.
All right.
I'm gonna go.
Hey man, one other totally out of order, man. I have these brain synapses, dude. You know, like once I get going, like.
Just quick question: Have you seen the '70s show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goes, and like, and like.
That was your brain.
Geo, tell me about paintball, man. What's the paintball deal? Then you were telling me about paintball.
Sounds fire. Is he on fire now? What is
you? I think our guest caught on fire.
What the hell happened there?
Somebody lit a match between my toes.
Yeah, talents you didn't even know about. I lit a match between my toes. For real?
Oh, what the heck?
For real?
Paintball, Geo. Paintball.
Paintball.
I got like at least 50 videos of me paintballing on YouTube. Basically, one of the things that I love to do besides music is go paintballing, go camping. I'm actually going camping right before WMC.
Can we come early and paintball?
Sure, dude. I got gear for that and guns.
Oh, you do have gears. I should have asked gears. What am I saying? Can't speak straight. You know, like it's not even late.
We got a paintballing location actually 5 blocks away from my house.
Oh, nice.
Well,
you know, like I was just talking to my mom, dude. She's gonna be down. I don't think she's gonna go paintballing, but well, like it sounds funny, but she might. I'm not even gonna ask because she might be like, yeah. But Geo's not.
Mom's cool peeps.
Your mom might do it.
How many times have you met my mom, Geo? How many times have you met my mom?
Yeah, we went. We hung out at the what hotel was that you guys were rented at? The show. Shelley or Hotel
my
Shelley?
mom at the Kimpton. My mom was at the Kimpton Hotel.
We were at the. I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. But yeah, anyway, we've been out to dinner.
I remember West Coast to May. Come hang out. I'm with my mom. I'm like, that would be awesome. Like, I'm dying to meet your moms. So I come out, and he's like, we got wristbands. We got these wristbands. We go in. We're not even sure what the hell's going on, to tell you the truth. We're just getting into it. And they're like, oh, no, your drinks are free. I'm like, oh, for real? It's like, how long? It's like, for the duration of the party. I was like, what? We got free drinks? So, like, me and Wes are like, just, like, we'll take this, we'll take that.
Dude, and then we have video like 2 hours later. So my mom was there hanging out with us, and then she takes off and not her scene, and then we're there in the middle of this we're basically Geo and I are basically there in these inner tubes in a pool in the middle of this bilingual rave. I'm not kidding you, and it's it turns into at one point it turns into a bikini contest or wet t-shirt or something, and there's Geo and I are at that end of the pool, and then these people, the co-host gal ends up jumping in, totally soaked, and then it just turns into kind of mayhem. And then Geo and I, remember that was the first time I had my new GoPro camera with me, so
yeah.
You and I jump in the water, and I'm we're filming underneath, and everybody's cheering. It was crazy, dude.
Actually, I got some pretty.
Yeah, it was hard, dude.
Right there.
I can't understand why your mother would leave that. That makes no sense.
It was her scene. The one t-shirt contest was her scene.
Not her scene.
Right.
That should be all in there.
All right, I got something to show you guys.
Okay.
Do it, man. Show it.
This is funny. I thought
No. Where is that from?
That's Wes Smith.
No, this is it. Yeah, show it. I know what this is. Show it. I know what this is. That's me, dude. Watch this. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's me. Hey,
this is the scene to give you a little rough idea. And then there's some underwater footage from another time. You may have that one on your phone too. Do you have it? This is the money shot here. Hold on.
There you go.
No! Oh Oh man, dude, I forgot about all that.
There's all what's this sticker.
No more focus on Geo. Put the camera down.
Hey, Geo.
Oh yeah, that was funny, dude. We had like a photo booth thing we did.
The platters are moving. We're all standstill. That was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. That was super cool, man. Well, I hope we can do some. I hope we can do some cool stuff like that when we're all together in Miami again, man.
Yeah, we will, man. You know we will.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And what I was gonna tell you is my mom's gonna be down there, and
nice.
We'll definitely do a group dinner like we did before. So psyched for that. Jen's gonna be there.
I'll be there.
Just
got my ticket today.
Was she there?
Yeah.
Was she there on the other years?
Yes, yeah.
No, not Jen.
No.
Yeah.
His mom, not Jen, no.
Oh, okay.
My mom's been there, not Jen, but my mom's been there and Kelly's been there. Yeah, and so really. Yeah, totally looking forward to it, dude. And then yeah, man. So like we're not really out of time, but we're at like an hour.
Yeah.
That's probably cool with everybody. What about you, Geo?
I'm good with that.
I mean, we could get a 6-pack and talk for like another 4 hours. Like one of the crazy things about the video recording that we're using is when you start it says you can record for 8 hours. So like this is the first episode. I don't think we should push the limits. But before we go, I do have one thing to tell you, which was this surprise that I was holding out on you for, Geo.
Okay.
Remember I told you I had a surprise for you in 2016?
Yeah.
So the track that we did together, what was the name of it?
G-Spot.
I know the name. I just wanted to hear you say it.
You didn't want that.
So it looks like, and there's a slight chance things can change, but as of right now, it looks like that the remix that I did for you of your track is going to end up on the video game that I did the soundtrack for.
Oh.
And so, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I would think, that's pretty cool, dude. So
that's
that
pretty
game's
big.
going to come out.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, that game's going to come out. I did the whole soundtrack for it, so that game's going to come out in like April or May. So it won't be before the conference, but I was waiting until we had this show episode to tell you and whatnot. And so, racing game, it's coming out on PS4, and
nice.
You'll definitely be hearing about it.
Awesome,
Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's coming out on Sony's PS4. The developer for the game is this company called Playrise, I believe Digital or Playrise Entertainment. I think it's Playrise Digital Entertainment, maybe. They're based out of Liverpool, but I'll definitely keep you informed, Geo.
Nice,
I'm super stoked for you and you, man, like to get some of my homies in on the game. So we'll have some cool stuff that comes around whenever that comes out.
Sure.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Anything else?
There's a sequel to that G-Spot. It's called. I don't know. I gotta send it to you though. I gotta send it to you because I'm almost done with it, but I'm sending it to you, and hopefully it'll be considered into a Juice recording. So I definitely want to release with you because you looked out on that remix for sure.
What would be the follow-up to G-Spot? What would be the name of it?
The sequel to G-Spot is No Face. No Face.
Watch is just like, oh my god.
Hey, on that note, as we wrap up the show, in the words of Ron Burgundy, and you can help me out with this, anybody on the call. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up. So stay classy, yo.
Yeah.
One more time.
One more time.
That was our tagline. Geo, you gotta say it with us. Like the Ron Burgundy who says "Stay classy, San Diego." So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Stay classy, yo. Peace out, brother.
Peace.